like it's just lit. Like women's basketball, the game, how far it's come, the excitement, the attention. Maybe I'll start with you, Kels, because Lord Jesus, your team and their fans,
Jesus,
they be getting up in everybody's business.
Have you noticed how some longtime WNBA players and media voices keep brushing off Caitlin Clark's impact? The latest jab came from Chiny Ogwumike, who criticized both Clark and Indiana Fever fans, but it didn't go over well. In fact, the backlash hit fast and hard.
Kelsey Mitchell doesn't waste any time to mention Caitlin Clark and what she has created. It's not what Janae wants to hear. It's not what the media, ESPN media, the WNBA, the old guard, it's not what they want to hear, because they're continuing to tell us that it's not Caitlin Clark who has created anything in the league.
Have you noticed how some longtime WNBA players and media voices keep brushing off Caitlin Clark's impact? The latest jab came from Chiny Ogwumike, who criticized both Clark and Indiana Fever fans. But it didn't go over well. In fact, the backlash hit fast and hard.
Lord Jesus, your team and their fans,
Jesus,
they be getting up in everybody's business.
Okay, so I'm going to stop right here. Notice how the question was phrased. Lord Jesus, your fans. Once again, pushing the narrative that there's something wrong with Indiana Fever fans. I don't like that has become the accepted belief about the Fever fans.
Let's get into what really sparked all the buzz. Did you catch what Chiny Ogwumike said about the Indiana Fever? This wasn't just a casual comment. It came across as a direct dig at Caitlin Clark and her fans when she went on air and talked down the team and their supporters, saying they were getting too loud and too involved. It was hard to miss what she was really doing, calling them out, plain and simple.
But she is a representation of the media, how the media are, and how the media don't want to acknowledge what the Indiana Fever fans bring to this league.
What's really troubling is the intent behind Chiny's comments. This wasn't just her sharing a personal take. It felt like she was trying to plant a bigger story, one that suggests there's drama inside the Indiana Fever locker room. It's a classic sports media move, create fake tension to grab headlines. But here's the thing, there's zero real proof to back any of it up. It's a made-up narrative designed to stir the pot. And honestly, it looks like a clear attempt to downplay Caitlin Clark's rise, instead of celebrating the real impact she's having, like packing arenas and bringing new eyes to the league. Some folks are twisting it, acting like her growing fan base is somehow a problem, as if helping the sport grow is a bad thing.
How have you guys experienced, is there like a moment that you think of when it comes to the explosion of the game and how it has changed the game?
Oh man, I think I've seen both sides of it. For one, like being on a team with like Caitlin and knowing that some of the stuff and the wave that she created for like, as you know, where the game is and what she's been a part of, like as far as this process, I've seen so much of it. And so I think for me lately is this shift in moments in Indiana period, as far as like the arena where we started.
Chiny's remarks aren't just a one-off, they're part of a larger pattern we've seen from some WNBA veterans and media figures. There's this strange reluctance to give Caitlin Clark the credit she's earned. Instead of embracing the energy and spotlight she's brought to the league, they seem to downplay it. Rather than cheer on the momentum, they try to put the brakes on. But then something unexpected happened. Kelsey Mitchell spoke up. She's a 7-year vet who's been with the Fever through the toughest seasons, when barely anyone was showing up to games. And she didn't stay quiet. She stepped in and addressed the situation head-on.
But too, they've seen what Indiana was, and I think now where it's at now, the big moment is seeing the shift and being a part of it from a standpoint of I know where Indiana was, and so to see the cultivation of it, you just grow to appreciate the process and the growth in which the game is going.
Poor Mitchell didn't tiptoe around the issue or hide behind a polished PR statement. She spoke out boldly, defending both Caitlin Clark and the Fever, fans who've been packing the stands like never before. Her message was clear. This isn't just about one player, it's about standing up for the team's culture and pushing back against unfair shots being taken at the organization. What made her words so impactful was how real they were. No drama, no spin. Just a veteran telling the truth. And when someone with Kelsey's experience and credibility speaks up like that, it carries weight. This wasn't hype or fan noise. It was a respected voice in the league setting the record straight.
Closer so you can see my face better. There's the face again. She's asking about the explosion of women's basketball, and Kelsey Mitchell doesn't waste any time to mention Caitlin Clark and what she has created.
Mitchell had nothing to gain by speaking out. In fact, it could have easily put her in the crosshairs of the same critics going after Caitlin Clark. She could have stayed quiet, avoided the noise, but she didn't. She made a choice to back her teammate and stand up for her team, knowing full well it might bring some heat her way. And that's exactly what made her words so powerful. It was a reminder of what real leadership looks like. In pro sports, it's not just about points or headlines, it's about showing up when it counts, even when there's no personal upside. Mitchell spoke up when it mattered most, and that says
it's not what Janae wants to hear. It's not what the media, ESPN media, the WNBA, the old guard, it's not what they want to hear, because they're continuing to tell us that it's not Caitlin Clark who has created anything in the...
Mitchell's leadership really came through when she finally addressed Clark's impact. When the mic was in front of her, she didn't just talk, she delivered her message with such clarity and purpose that it clearly rattled some folks in the media. What could have been just another post-game interview turned into a defining moment that shifted the entire conversation. So what made it hit so hard? It wasn't about raising her voice or getting emotional. It was the way she stayed calm and composed, the kind of quiet strength that speaks louder than any outburst. You could tell she knew exactly what she was saying, and she wasn't backing down. That kind of confidence, grounded in truth, is what real leadership looks like.
I guess, where the game is and what she's been a part of.
Now, you notice that Kelsey kind of stops a little bit. She's like, because she's waiting for, when someone's talking, you get the nod, you get the you get that. Instead, she gets this look. So Kelsey's just like, yeah, and so she's kind of got to plow through, because I don't think she expected to feel what she just felt when she mentioned Caitlin creating such a wave.
And when Mitchell was asked to point to a moment that showed just how far women's basketball has come, she didn't flinch. No hesitation, no vague answers. She looked the interviewer straight in the eye and said, "I believe Caitlin Clark has played a significant role in the rise of women's basketball." Just like that. Clear, direct, and honest. While others have tiptoed around the subject, Mitchell said what many know to be true but haven't had the courage to say out loud.
Well, Kelsey Mitchell kept it real about it, and I could sense that it was awkward. It was an awkward moment for her, because it was sort of like, Caitlin, like what?
The reaction was instant and pretty revealing. If you watch that clip closely, you can actually catch the exact moment the interviewer's expression shifts. It's like watching ice crack under pressure. That smooth, practiced media smile wavers just a bit the second Kelsey says Caitlin's name. And that small moment says a lot. It shows the gap between what some in the media expected Mitchell to say and what she actually said. She gave direct, thoughtful praise that cut right through the narrative a few voices in women's basketball have been trying to spin, while some continue to downplay Clark's impact or even suggest it's somehow bad for the league. Mitchell didn't flinch. She spoke with the kind of authority that only comes from someone who's in the locker room.
Backcourt of the Indiana Fever back in the playoffs this year. Kelsey Mitchell on the left, of course, Caitlin Clark on the right, the 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year. And boy, what a summer it was, Quinn, with the Fever here at Game.
Those established figures tearing down Clark aren't random haters. They're the very voices who've built entire careers as the faces and voices of women's basketball. And that's exactly the problem. When sold-out arenas and record-breaking viewership follow a rookie who challenges their long-held narratives, suddenly their carefully constructed kingdom doesn't seem so secure anymore. The proof: one of these critics actually admitted to being jealous of Clark's success before she even played her first pro game, stating, "Would you be jealous of somebody that got $28 million a shoe deal?" Listen to this.
Yeah, jealous, sure. I mean, would you be jealous of somebody that got $28 million a shoe deal or whatever the deal is before you step foot in the pro?
And that get this. I'm tired of it. Like, here's my thing, you guys. What else? Who are these girls? Who are these girls that are hating on Caitlin Clark? Are you just combing through Twitter. Stop acting like because you see some randos on Twitter knocking Caitlin Clark, all girls are.
I've been asked some questions about the NIL lately, about where the game is going lately, and I think for me, if I can give or drop any form of advice based off experiences, that all money is not good money, and I mean that literally. I've seen myself in situations where I had to figure out if I wanted to come back to Indy. I had to figure out what was best for me. I lost my parent, so it was like figuring out what I needed, and I figure out that you have to go where you're literally loved, and I mean that literally, and I mean that intentionally. Go where you're loved and not tolerated, because all money is not good money. So.
I'm a fever girl again. I'm a fever girl. I'm excited. Kind of missed this court. Yeah, I'm a fever girl again. A lot of went into this decision. This program's going, what we're trying to accomplish. And based on, the way in which I like to see myself playing. I can do that with people like Caitlin, people like AB, people like Liz. The list goes on with Lexi Hall, Grace Berger. So I'm excited about the group we have. I get to play alongside some really great people.
Felt like Kels probably should have got a little love. I honestly thought she probably should have been player of the month. Just what she was doing, and at the clip she was doing it, I think she was like 50, 40, 90 this month, which is really, really hard to do. So I feel very fortunate to play with her, and honestly, I'm not even trying to be corny. Like, I really think she deserved it. So I think sharing that with her, and I feel lucky to have, a kind of a backcourt mate that has been, through this for 7 years and has really helped me.